once you send those documents back to head office, and bear in mind you will need to fill out an international shipping form at your local post office. I can't quite remember how much that cost me, but it wasn't crazy cheap and it wasn't crazy expensive. It could have been something like $15. I don't know, that's a real generalization, but it's not going to be crazy cheap. Or maybe that is crazy cheap and I'm just a broke bitch. Once you send it off, you're going to need to fill out the, what the forms are, what the documents are inside your postage, so that their customs can filter through the correct documents. I just made a note on mine that it was just contracts and official paperwork, and I just put the value at around $50, and that was just for insurance purposes. Okay, so once head office receives that, and I'm referring to head office as the head office for the company I'm working for that, and I'm saying that because I didn't need to send my certificate of eligibility directly to any form of government agency. I'm sending it to the private company that I'm working for, and from there they will send it to whoever they need to send it to. I really hope that your company that you're working with or hoping to work with is as flexible and helpful, because I mean, these guys are amazing. Yeah. Okay, and then, yay, it was accepted. So I recently, what the heck is going on? I recently, as of Monday just been, was informed that my certificate of eligibility has been accepted and completed and done, and they're sending it back to me in New Zealand. So best case scenario, really. It is in the post. It's due here in a week's time. I'm really excited for that. When I get that, I will then be able to get my visa. We're not done yet. So I've done all that work. I've done all that work. But I've still got a little bit left to go. Now let's just talk about a little bit more of the meaning behind a certificate of eligibility, in case you're thinking, what is all of this? Now you might have heard, I don't remember if I included it or if I cropped it out, but in one of my earlier videos I mentioned that Japan loves paperwork. You getting it now? You understanding all the paperwork? They love it. It's really formal, but I mean, that's what we expect from Japan, isn't it? God, I don't look cute. Okay. Okay, so what is a certificate of eligibility really? The description I've been given is that a certificate of eligibility, or a C.O.E, is proof that an employer has sponsored you to work in Japan and that you have met the conditions set forth by the Ministry of Justice (Immigration Bureau). This certificate of eligibility document is issued. This C.O.E document is issued in Japan. An entry visa is issued at a Japanese embassy or consulate outside of Japan. That's really important to remember. And confirms the validity of the holder's C.O.E and passport. An entry visa permits one to enter Japan with the status according to their C.O.E. So I've got my C.O.E and now I need my visa. Okay? Two things. Okay, so how do I apply for a certificate of eligibility? The company will apply for a C.O.E on your behalf, since it is sponsored. Your recruiter will provide a number of documents that make up some of the application paperwork. All of the below documents are required. Some items can be sent electronically and some must be sent as originals. Return the documents to your recruiter by the stated due date, so they should keep you up to date on what they need from you. C.O.E documents are needed 10 to 12 weeks in advance, prior to your planned start date. Your documents do not... Okay, so if you don't already have something like this, I would suggest that you at this point maybe make note of what I'm about to say. This is something that could be a nice handy checklist for you. So, done all that actually. So once you've sent all of those documents to your recruiter, your recruiter will check your application documents and then will forward them to head office in Japan. You will send some other documents directly to head office yourself. So, for example, at my interview, my recruiter took a copy of my passport and my degree, and everything else I sent directly to head office myself. I don't know what it will be like for you. The company submits the application to the Immigration Bureau in Japan. It usually takes about 4 to 6 weeks for the application to be processed once it is submitted to the Immigration Bureau. Once the COE is issued, this original document will be sent to you via your recruiter or directly. A sample of a COE is available below for your reference. I'm going to insert that here. Important. The company is obligated. Is it obligated or obliged? I don't really know. Congrats on who gets me as an English teacher. The company is obligated to check that your application is legitimate, and we have no influence on the outcome of the application. Final decisions on applications are the purview of the immigration authorities. A certificate of eligibility is only valid for 90 days after it's issued. That means you must obtain your entry visa within that 90-day time. So if you're thinking I'm going to get so on top of this and get everything done nice in advance, sorry. It's one of the downsides of this, or you do have to wait before you can do a whole bunch of things. So what happens next? After you receive your C.O.E, you must go to your nearest Japanese embassy/consulate to obtain your entry visa. You must obtain an entry visa prior to departing for Japan. You will not be admitted entry to Japan under a working visa status without the original C.O.E and entry visa. You may be required to go to a specific embassy that has jurisdiction over the area that you reside in. The entry visa application process can take up to 5 business days. We strongly suggest that you contact the nearest Japanese embassy and consulate beforehand to find out more about the entry visa process. For example, where to go, what items you should bring, what documents you should bring if an appointment is needed. Different consulates or embassies will ask different things of you. And then I'll also insert a sample of an entry visa. So you've got your entry visa, congrats, that's fantastic. It's all sorted and now you're landing in Japan. So what happens then? Okay, so upon arrival into Japan, you must present your passport, including your entry visa, original C.O.E, and disembarkation card. That's those little, flight cards that they hand you on the flight. You must hand those all in to the immigration and passport control officer at the airport. The officer will then issue you a landing permission stamp in your passport and a residence card. That's an exciting part of all this, residence cards. I'll probably make another video on that. This stamp and card act as your official working visa. That's right, we've done all of that, but these things are the official visas. Please see the sample landing permission stamp for your reference. Once again, we'll insert. Okay. Here are some really common questions that the company I'm going to work for have been asked throughout. Have been asked from people who are in my position, and I'm going to read them out in case they're questions you have as well. Question: I have graduated from university, but I haven't received my degree yet. Do I have to wait to receive my degree before I can apply for my visa/COE? Answer: The Immigration Bureau insists on receiving a copy of your actual degree before issuing a COE. Other documentation from your university that shows you have graduated, such as an academic transcript or statement of graduation, they're not accepted. Where is a COE issuance date found? Well, on the example shown here, this is the date the COE was issued. The COE I can't come to Japan within the 90-day COE validity period. What do I do? If you can't obtain an entry visa and travel to Japan within the 90-day period, then the COE will expire and can no longer be used. Contact your recruiter ASAP and discuss contact your recruiter ASAP and discuss your situation, possible future availability, and how to return your COE. Can I enter Japan to work? Can I enter Japan to begin work without an entry visa? No, you can't. Who's asking that? Don't ask that. That's silly. If you arrive in Japan with your COE but no entry visa, you will not be granted entry. Yeah? Okay. Sorry, that was really patronizing. But yeah, that's... You might be refused entry into Japan, or if you're lucky, you'll be granted a temporary visa, aka a tourist visa. Temporary visitors cannot work in Japan under any circumstances. Under any circumstances. Can I get my entry visa in a different country? No. Not all consulates or embassies will accept entry visa applications from people who are not a legal resident of that country. Teachers should contact the applicable Japanese embassy or consulate they wish to visit for the entry visa in advance to see if this is possible or not. Now, this would apply to if I was a New Zealander living and working in Australia or the US or whatever, and from there was going to Japan. Because I'm not a resident citizen of the country that I would in that situation be residing in, I would not be able to get an entry visa from that country, potentially. What is landing permission? Landing permission is granted at the port of arrival after a final screening to ensure the person meets all the conditions set forth by immigration. A person's landing permission is commonly referred to as their visa. How long is my working visa, brackets, landing permission, valid for? Working visas are normally valid for a period of 1 year, 1 or 3 years, from the date the teacher arrives in Japan. In some cases, the landing permission may be issued for 3 months, 3 years, or 5 years. The length of the validity period is determined by the Immigration Bureau. Can I renew my visa? Teachers may renew their visa with sponsorship. Teachers may renew their working visa with sponsorship from the company. I'm going to put a link in the bio below. I'm going to put a link in the description box below for you to check out if you have any questions. So that was a pretty stiff and formal video. I just wanted to talk about the COE because I was really confused about it all. There was all this terminology going around when I first applied for this, or at least when I was first successful in landing a job, and I just didn't really understand it. I thought you get a job and you get a visa and it was just that, but that's really not the case. There's so many different things, and I don't know if this is like normal for every country and company, but Japan, as I've mentioned, they really do seem to love paperwork. So yeah, keep in mind that that's going to be a big part of this process for you. I just wanted to touch on that because in a way I like the idea of one of my playlists, the teaching and moving to Japan, 2 different playlists, but I like the idea of somebody being able to go onto those and almost follow them step by step. I've uploaded them in different orders to what they would be, but hopefully the video titles will allow you to just click on whatever one represents what stage of the process you're up to. Hopefully I do a good job of cutting this all together so that it makes sense and is really helpful. Yeah. Okay, so thanks for hanging out and listening as I read out this detailed process. It's not the most fun video, I'll admit, but it's one of those things. It's really an important part of the process, and if watching this video helped you, then that's all I could ask for. If you like this content, please hit the like button below, and if you want to see more videos from me, then please hit the subscribe button. I've decided on a schedule, finally. I'm going to try to upload every Friday at around 10 AM. So yeah, if you want to come in and check out what videos, sometimes it's going to be like this, educational, kind of boring, but straight to the point, sort of, you know, the real fun stuff. So sometimes it's going to be about that, sometimes I'm just going to get a bit creative, and sometimes it's going to be more vlog style of, you know, just following a day in the life. At the moment I'm filming a day in the life of an Auckland florist, and I'm having a lot of fun with that, so a few of those will be coming out too. Please leave me any comments in the comment section below if you want to know more about this process, or if I've left any key components out. If you've gone through this process and you're finding that some of the information I'm sharing isn't quite right, please get in touch with me, because I'd really love to look through my notes and find out where I went wrong. Yeah, so I can correct it and tell everyone. Okay, I'm actually going to go play with some flowers and then go shopping, so I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching my video. Arigatou gozaimasu.